New year, new you. 2024 just started, and now is a great time to get your finances in order. I'm going to cover some easy ways to get started and some tips to help you stay on track. First, what are your financial goals for 2024? Goals can be anything you want, big or small. Do you want to spend less this year? Do you want to buy a home? Is there debt that you would like to pay down? Whatever your goals are for 2024, just know they are worth pursuing, and with dedication and persistence, you can achieve them. So how do you get started? First, set some time aside to take inventory. And it usually helps if you put this on the calendar. Think of it like having a meeting or setting a date with your future self. How are you two going to get on the same page and make sure you start pursuing your goals? At this meeting, take inventory of where you are. So that's going to be reviewing bank statements, credit card statements, retirement plan statements, mortgage statements, any other debt statements you might have. And then also review your assets. So this is the value of your home, the value of the cars that you have, or anything else that you have of value. Next, review your sources of income. What's your current income? Is it expected to go up? Do you have any additional sources of income on the side? Be sure to factor that in. And then finally, review your budget. And if you don't have one, it's time to create one. The second step after you take inventory is to identify some things that you want to improve or work towards. For example, maybe you want to pay down some debt, or maybe you want to work on your budget. So this could be to increase savings or maybe reduce spending. You may want to build an emergency fund this year, or perhaps you want to start saving for retirement. Make note of a few goals that you want to focus on this year. And remember, you do not want to stretch yourself too thin by selecting too many things to pursue at once. Focus on a few things, and if you finish one early, then feel free to start up another one. The third step is to develop an action plan. What actions are you going to take to pursue your goals? And let's look at an example to see how you can put together an action plan that will work for you. First, let's say your goal was to pay off credit card debt of $5,000. It helps if your goal is specific and measurable so you can track your progress over time. If you were to say something like, my goal is I want to pay down debt, well, it's going to be harder to know if you're making progress or when you've actually achieved it. When your goals become more specific, it's easier to track and measure your progress over time. So when creating an action plan, the first step for this specific goal is going to be to identify your sources of income that can be used to pay off this debt. You're likely going to need to check your budget, and remember, if you don't have one, it's time to create one. And you look at your budget and you'll identify, is there any extra money in the budget that I can use to pay down my debt faster? Do you need to make changes to your spending in order to free up extra money? So this step, I'm identifying sources of income and extra money that I can contribute towards paying down debt. The second step is we're going to actually create the plan to pay down debt. And using a debt pay down calculator can be very useful, and this will help you determine a timeline for when you might be able to achieve your goal. Remember, you want your action plan to be something that you can stay consistent with and achieve. Do not try to pay down debt in one single payment unless for some reason you happen to have $5,000 laying around. For our example, I will use the debt calculator at the Credit Karma website. And when you use a debt pay down calculator, you have the option to create a plan in a few ways. First, you can input the credit card interest rate, the debt amount, which in this case is $5,000, and the period of time that you want to pay off your debt. You'll hit calculate, and the calculator will tell you how much you need to pay each month to pay off your debt. The second option is you can input the credit card interest rate, the debt amount again, and the payment that you can afford. And in this case, when you hit calculate, the calculator will tell you how long it will take to pay off the debt. Either method is okay, because the important thing is to develop an action plan that you can start. So for our example, we have $5,000 of credit card debt. We will say our interest rate is 18%, and we looked at our budget and we have $500 to put towards it each month. So we calculate, and the calculator estimates that it's going to take 11 months to pay off this credit card balance. All right, our plan is coming into place. Our third step is taking action. For our example here, we want to select the method, how are we going to be making these debt payments now that we know how much we're going to be contributing. Typically, the easiest way to do this is going to be setting up automatic payments from your checking account. Many credit card companies allow you to do this on their website. As for the date you pick to send the payment, it usually helps to have this be right around payday. And if you get paid in irregular intervals, then choose times when you are likely to have money available to send the payment. It may also be useful to get a calendar and mark each day that you're going to be making a payment. You can then check these dates off as the payments are made. Also, be sure to pat yourself on the back each time that you make a payment. You are making progress towards reaching a goal, and you're taking positive actions for your finances. Now, this concludes our example, so I want you to apply this type of process, these 3 steps, to any other goal that you may be working towards this year. What can you do if you get a little off track when you're pursuing your goals? Maybe you miss a full payment because you had to use that money for an unexpected expense. Perhaps something else pops up and it becomes more of an important financial priority. I'm going to give you a few tips to help you stay the course even when you experience some setbacks. So first, write down your goals and keep them visible where you can see it daily. When you remind yourself of your goal each day, it can help you keep focused. Throughout our day, we're going to face a lot of temptations to either splurge or maybe deviate from our plan. And that's perfectly normal. But if we keep our goals at the forefront of our mind, we will be able to control our actions and make better choices that steer us towards reaching our goal. Second, keep a long-term mindset. Many financial goals require long-term planning and action. By taking small steps each day, we ultimately can make quite the journey. Know that each day you have a chance to build good financial habits and work towards your goals. So for example, if you are working on spending less, focus on small areas where you can save money. Are there subscriptions that you don't use anymore? Can you eat out one less time each week? Can you postpone a certain purchase? Each small win adds up over time. Another example, if you are saving for retirement, it's important to regularly contribute to your retirement account. Even if it's a small amount, maybe just 5% of pay. Those smaller contributions have the potential to grow into bigger amounts in the future. When your budget allows, you can also increase the amount you're contributing to your retirement accounts at a future date. And then a final example is, let's say you're saving towards buying a home. Keep this goal in mind when you're making other financial decisions. Do you need the most expensive car or appliance that will fit into your budget? Or can you get a more affordable option and contribute more towards your goal of buying a home? Are there any other regular financial transactions that you do where you can find savings? And then the third tip is stay positive, because progress is progress. Keep track of your progress over time. Each time you make a little progress, no matter how small it may feel, remind yourself that you are doing great. Taking one step forward means you are one step closer to your goal. Stay positive, even in the face of setbacks. Setbacks usually do happen, and unfortunately, that's just a part of life in general. However, how you handle the setback is what will determine if and when you reach your goal. When facing a setback, take a look back at how far you've come towards reaching your goal. Have you made 10 straight debt payments? Have you saved $1,000 towards a goal? Be proud of what you accomplished so far and create a plan to get back on track after overcoming the setback. Now it's time for you to get started. Make 2024 the year of progress for change for the better. And remember, the 3 steps to get started are: make an appointment and take inventory. Review where you are and decide where you want to be. Create an action plan and start. And remember, be specific. Along the way, regularly remind yourself of your goals, track your progress, and most importantly, stay positive. Some progress is better than no progress. For more personal finance content, check out our website and YouTube channel. As a reminder, this video is provided for general education purposes only. It is not intended to provide financial advice specific to your situation.